It is one of the most famous cold cases in modern history. And just minutes ago, key documents in the JonBenet Ramsey murder case were released to the public for the first time ever. The grand jury indictment of John and Patsy Ramsey is providing new details into a 17-year-old murder mystery that captivated the nation. Count 4 of the indictment says Patsy Ramsey, quote, did unlawfully, knowingly, recklessly, and feloniously permit a child to be unreasonably placed in a situation which posed a threat of injury to the child's life or health, which resulted in the death of JonBenet Ramsey. Count 7 says John Ramsey, essentially the same thing, did unlawfully, knowingly, feloniously render assistance to a person with intent to hinder, delay, and prevent the discovery, detention, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, and punishment of such person for the commission of a crime, knowing the person being assisted has committed and was suspected of the crime of murder in the first degree and child abuse resulting in death. You'll remember it, the 6-year-old beauty queen found dead in her Boulder, Colorado home December 26, 1996. Her murder remains unsolved. Let me bring in MSNBC legal analyst and former federal prosecutor Kendall Coffey. Kendall, what do these documents tell us?
Well, it's stunning. One of the most sensational unsolved murder mysteries of our times. And all we can tell from this is that at some point, the grand jury believed that her parents were responsible, or at least they believed there was probable cause. Now, we know some very important things happened after the grand jury signed off on those indictments. The prosecutor didn't bring charges. He believed that there was not enough evidence to prove beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt that they could be convicted of the crime of being involved in their child's death. Different standard between a grand jury's probable cause and a prosecutor's duty to determine if you can prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And of course, we also know that in 2008, years later, the successor to the original prosecutor determined, based on DNA evidence, that the parents were not implicated in the crime. But this is a stunning development, and we all want to know more, frankly. What was it that prompted the grand jury, some responsible people, to develop this theory of how the parents were involved in the death of their own child?
And in fact, for people who don't know or don't remember, Patsy Ramsey died. John Ramsey, through his lawyer, sought to block this release today. And his argument is that it's going to defame him and his late wife, who died of cancer in 2006. His lawyer also argued the indictment shouldn't be released without the entire grand jury record, so the public could consider the reams of evidence. So why wouldn't the judge do that?
Well, and there is a point to the concern about the impact this has on John Ramsey. What's more horrible than people thinking you might have killed your own child? And as we know, there's really no presumption of innocence in the court of public opinion. But Colorado's open records laws are limited. Grand jury proceedings are generally secret. Only the official action, which in this case, the key pages signed by the grand jury foreperson, that's all that can be released. It's a frustrating scenario and a painful one for John Ramsey, for the memory of his late wife, and for those who have been following the case, just more questions, more mystery, and frankly, not even the ability to know what the grand jury was thinking.
And he has since remarried. He has been laying low in recent years. The attention has been away from this, and now obviously it's back on him. What is his recourse, if anything, and what would you advise him to do?
Well, I think he may continue a court battle to get more information, but the reality is that he has a validation, a declaration of innocence from the current office that prosecuted that case. That's the best there's going to be for him, no matter what he does. The disclosure today of that indictment, information and speculation in the past, will always leave a cloud in at least the minds of some people.
So when you look at these, and they're slightly differently worded, is the indication that one was believed to be, at least by this grand jury, possibly the killer, and the other was just involved in a cover-up?
That's what's so frustrating for everyone. You can't really tell. It implies that the grand jury didn't have enough information to say what specific person killed, brutally murdered JonBenet Ramsey. But what it suggests is that the parents exposed her to that, and specifically may have facilitated somebody in actually perpetrating the crime. So we have the most general information about a most horrible crime that really creates more questions than answers.
Kendall Coffey, thanks so much. Appreciate it.